Very good morning, friends and traders. I'm Nalnakshi Swami, coming up with Nifty levels and Bank Nifty levels based on the India VIX. India VIX has increased to 16 because of the panic, continuous selling in the market. Based on that, I've calculated the levels to be 23,278 and 22,892 as for the range for the today's range, intraday range. And the weekly level to be upper boundary, weekly high to be 23,597 to weekly low to be 22,573. Coming to the analysis, what has happened yesterday was Nifty from this level, it closed. Previous day price action was within the high and low of the previous day range. It closed within this range. It gapped down to break below the previous day low. So you can see over here, it break down to from this level to all of a sudden to make a low of 22,172. Even though we have levels in our hand, but we are unable to trade because the market direction will be clear. The direction was downside. You can see the direction was downside, right? And this was the continuation of the downside like this. What happens to the people is they get confused by the intraday gaps up and price moves in an opposite direction. After the gap down, price moved in an opposite direction. It is natural to move down because the RSI become actually reading of RSI becomes oversold in that area. Naturally, the people who have sold gap down, they will trend to sell higher price, right? So that's why market reacts to this up move. So you can catch this move. As an intraday trader, the movement from 22,173 to 22,340, you could have captured 161 points. That is a great amount in the market. So problems what the traders will face is the intraday gap up and intraday gap downs will cause them to be directionless. They will not have a clear view what to trade. For that, what you need to do is you need to put a previous day boundaries. See, I'm telling the VIX levels. This is the previous day boundary. Previous day high. Let us mark previous day my high. Previous day high and previous day low. Previous day low, right? Previous day low. So this is the boundary. Within this boundary, I am getting the levels 23,278. And the level low is I'm getting beyond this boundary, right? Beyond this boundary, and the upper level is within the previous day high. So note down. So what did the market do yesterday? It came down and pushed up. Today it can do because it is already oversold. Again, it has become oversold in the RSI. If you enable the RSI, let me enable the RSI. It is in oversold condition. The reading is 24.44. When it becomes oversold, even if it gaps up to, suppose if the market gaps up, gaps up, then the RSI reading, it cannot move beyond 50. Suppose if it has to move beyond 50, it has to gap up above these levels and trade above these levels for the reversal in the market. What can happen today is, so you note down what the RSI is telling you, it is oversold. Naturally, if it gaps up, what will be the intention of the seller, the big player, is to seek liquidity and gather momentum to the downside. That is the uh, intention of the big player. So if I measure the up move yesterday, that was 170 points gap up, we can expect the up move towards 23,280. 23,280. That is a measured up move. Okay. Still within the boundary of our daily high weeks level and within the boundary of previous day high. So market needs liquidity. Where are the liquidity present? There will be static liquidity around this area because some sort of liquidity available over here, and the traders who have gone short thinking that it is breakdown of the range, their stop losses will be there. That is static liquidity available there. Market can go up, gap up, or travel up to this to seek the liquidity which is available over there, and then it can come back. What it can do? It can come back like this. After coming back, if it starts crossing above all these levels, we can consider it can go. It can even present with a trendy structure within the previous day high. Right? Previous day high. So you can get an intraday, today it may be an inside day, it can be an inside day because the range is too much. The range from the previous day to previous day, it is almost 300, 400 points down. Sometimes what happens is after the continued fall, market tends to go sideways and trade within this range. It can trade within 170 points or 200 points. That may be the possibility. Only if it breaks below the previous day low, you can get a trade. Sometimes what happens? There will be a falls, come down, and it may go up like that. It may stay sideways, take a rest, and then it may continue its direction towards the down move. So market has sometimes what happens, market will not go up to the destined levels, but it will make the people in confusion to make them take the wrong trade. So do not get carried over by the gap ups. But what is the first step is mark the previous day high and previous low and see where are the VIX levels and mark my VIX levels. These are the VIX levels. VIX levels will act as guidance for your trade. Then take the trade. Have patience. Give at least 1 hour. See here, after 1 hour, market picked up the original direction. See, it confused the traders to move higher, but people forgot that this was the break below the previous day low. It was a gap down. That is breakaway gap. When it breaks away from this gap, usually these gaps will not be filled. That you should have in your mind. So in my previous video, I had mentioned everything. Today, market can gap up and note down all these levels. Don't get confused by the gap ups or anything. If it has to reverse, it has to go past this previous day high. That is the boundary. Then only strength will come. Then only all the sellers get panicked. These intraday sellers, fresh sellers from yesterday, these are the fresh sellers. From yesterday, they will get panicked and they will move for shelter. So till that time, watch the price and how it pans. Sometimes what happens in the market is within this previous day range, there will be a trendy movement like a higher high like this type of move will be there presented in the market. That is a sideways type of movement. Then for an option buyer, there will not be any trade. So these are the problems what intraday traders will face. Even in spite of having the levels, they will become directionless because it affects the psychology of the traders. When it gaps up, they stop thinking. So why do they stop thinking? They concentrate on the gap ups. Gap up and the 100 points gap up like that, they will see, oh, market is gapping up 113 points. They will think like that. So if you mark the levels, boundaries properly with the Nifty levels and where it is placed, if you have in your mind and what the RSI is telling, then you will have a clear picture. Later you can apply your TWAP and rolling weighted volume average price for your guidelines to trade. Coming to the Bank Nifty is also in the same position. See, if I mark the support and resistance, even the resistance level, the first resistance level is within the previous day boundary. This is the previous day high and this is previous day low, right? And the first support is below the previous day low and first resistance is within the previous day high. So even because it has been sold off, RSI reading, naturally it will be in oversold position. Yes, same type of reading. It can bounce, but it is within 50. It cannot go up. If it has to reverse, it has to bounce above the previous day boundary, high boundary, then only the market will show strength, momentum, everything. So if it is bouncing off, so this is the boundary within the previous day, the first resistance is placed in the Bank Nifty. So note down the levels. The second resistance, that is weekly, 49,107, and second support 46,975. First support is 47,639 and first resistance is 48,443. The probability if it gaps up to the near to the first resistance, then the trade may be within the previous day range, even for the Nifty as well as for the Bank Nifty. So note down the levels, trade wisely, apply the logic. So you will not face any problem. The direction is still downwards. Direction is downwards. Remember that. Don't get confused by the intraday gap ups and gap downs. Have everything in your mind, trade properly. Then your trade will be successful. That's why I'm requesting you people to note down the levels properly and apply logic, mark the boundaries, then you trade with this. Thank you very much, friends. Nalnakshi Swami signing off.